Alright, welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 video of answering the test question, what is the diameter of a circle when the area and circumference are set equal to each other? So in these next two parts, this one's part 2, and then in the next video, part 3, I'm going to go over key knowledge, skills, and abilities that you just need to know in order to answer this particular question. I'm going to go very, very, very slow. And so I don't like to skip steps. And I'm also going to show you two methods, two ways of answering this particular type of question. All right. I'm also going to get into using expanded form versus the just straight up using the quotient rule using two different methods. Again, expanded form and just the rule for quotient rule. So let's just get right on here to it. The formula for the area of a circle, or A, that represents area of a circle, is pi times r squared. The formula for the circumference of a circle, or C, is 2 times pi times r. So you need to know that information in order to answer this question, because remember, in the given in the question, both pi r squared is going to be set equal to 2 times pi times r. That was given in the question. So stick with me here. I'm going to try to make this easy and not get too shaky. I've been working on not getting that shaking going on in my videos. So here's a quotient rule I'd like to go over. And again, a quotient rule for exponents. Quotient simply means the answer to a division problem. So we will be doing some division with exponents. And you need to know the rules and you need to understand the rules. And I'm going to show you using two different methods, right? So the rule, when you divide with exponents, you subtract the exponents. So I use a lot of invisible ones. And so if you haven't seen my videos on invisible ones, please take the time, review those videos. They will clarify a lot of things that confuse a lot of students first starting out in algebra, geometry, mathematics. Okay, so check out those videos. It's called Invisible Ones. So here is just an example. We got exponents. We got x cubed times y to the invisible 1 first power times z to the 5th power. Divided by, that's every fraction is a division problem. X to the 4th times y to the invisible 1, I'm just not showing it here, times z to the 3rd power. So the first method I'd like to show you in simplifying and using this quotient rule where we subtract exponents is to use expanded form. First I'll start in the top portion of the fraction, which is called the numerator. We got x cubed, which is x to the 1st power times x to the 1st power times x to the 1st power, just x times x times x, times y to the 1st power, so there's only one y, times 5 z's. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 z's. Now I'm going to work my way down into the denominator. And again, this is called expanded form. Both of these fractions are equal to each other. I'm just simplifying it and showing it on paper. X to the 4th is x times x times x times x, right? Because the rule is when you multiply with exponents, you have the same base. The base stays the same. And you add up all these little invisible ones. That's what you get. That's why you get x to the 4th power. Times y, so I'm going to show you, times y to the invisible 1, times z to the 3rd power. 1, 2, 3 z's. Okay, in my opinion, once you understand how to convert into expanded form, this makes quotient rule so much easier. But if you already understand quotient rule, I'm going to show you another way to simplify using the quotient rule, using the same ratio fraction I'm showing you up here. So you need to remember, right? 3 over 3, 2 over 2, or x over x is equal to 1, right? Anything over itself is equal to 1. So I had rewritten this down below, and I'm showing you x over x is 1. I canceled it out. X over x is 1. I canceled it out. X over x is 1. Canceled it out, or it turns into a 1. Anything times 1 is itself, right? Y over y is 1. Z over z is 1. Z over z is 1. Z over Z is 1. What am I left with? I'm left with Z times Z. Remember, you add those exponents. Z times Z is Z squared. Over. And what's Z squared times 1 times 1 times 1? It's still just Z squared, right? Over X to the first power. What's X times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1? It's still just X. So I'm left with Z squared over X. That is what I'm showing you here. Now, and that X is to the invisible 1 power, right? I show invisible ones. Again, watch my video on invisible ones. Now, if you already understand the rule, 3 minus 4, then I'm showing you that here. This is the rule. You subtract when you divide with exponents. So 3 minus 4, or y to the first minus y to the first, y to the 1 minus y to the 1. And all these, of course, are being multiplied. And then you have z to the fifth minus z to the third power. The fifth minus the third power. So what's 3 minus 4? That's a negative 1 over x to the negative 1 over an invisible 1. I'm going to show you in a moment how to turn that negative 1 into a positive. I also show quotient rule videos. Please watch them. This will clarify everything for you. Okay, times, well, what's 1 minus 1? It's 0. Anything to the 0 is a 1, right? And then times z, 5 minus 3 is 2, okay? You have this fraction. In order to turn that negative 1 into positive, you flip it. The 1 is on top. 1 times z squared is z squared. The x to the positive 1 is now on the bottom, and that's why you see this x to the 1 on the bottom or the denominator of this fraction. So you can use either method, expanded form, by canceling them out and turning them into 1, or you just follow the rules. You need to know a little bit more about negative exponential powers. I created videos on all the exponent rules. Please check out my videos. It will help to clarify what we are doing here for this particular rule. Now, I know this was a little lengthy explanation, but if you've never done this, you need to understand. Go back, watch my videos on invisible ones and exponential rules, especially for this particular problem, quotient rule. It's going to help you out. Thank you for joining me. Math is easy. Take it step by step. Please like, follow, share, subscribe. Thank you for your time.